Good morning, viewers. Now, after a little of gap, I'm again coming back on my fraud awareness topics or lessons or whatever for the usage of the youngsters and the general public. See, I'm quite active on LinkedIn, and today I just want to touch upon a recap of my recent postings on LinkedIn, which are very relevant in the present context of frauds that we are seeing day in and day out. Like you see, solar winds attack. It is still going on about the big hacking that took place, and there are allegations of some international interference who are responsible for that. And there are quite a few postings on that regarding how it happened, or who could be responsible for that, and what is the data lost, and all that one. And it's so unfortunate that on the one hand we keep on talking about safety measures, safety software, that, and then more stringent controls and all that. But every alternate day we keep suddenly something comes to light, let it be a fraud or a hacker, whatever. And so that solar winds hacking of the software update of that company, and then getting into the details of several customers and all of them, and it's a big data breach. Okay, and regarding that, I have 1, 2, 3 posts who have highlighted the fact and how it happened, and other things. Then also there is a another thing that we are coming across nowadays. The latest updates on extradition case of Mr. Vijay Mallya and crores of this scam involving money laundering and other issues that has been going on, and who has just slipped through the fingers. And as I keep saying, that we all keep crying at the spilled milk, and then we go on pillar to post hunting and other things. And when these fraudsters do what they want and simply slip through the fingers. Okay, whatever may be the circumstance under which he has run away to UK and hiding there, just like Lalit Modi since last decade. Now the UK government, we don't know the agenda behind their statement of some very confidential legal issues. We cannot now proceed with the extradition. We do not understand. There seems to be still a lacuna in these extradition proceedings, and to honor the other, believe the other government, and then be satisfied with what the government is giving. And when they fully well that he simply ran away from there and landing here, and then the countries talk about their laws and all these things, just procrastinating or delaying these extraditions, and whereas those people are they don't stop their high-flying life, and then giving their statements as they like, and then they're just playing around and taking advantage of these international legal lacunas. Still, that needs to be streamlined, that when one government has to honor the other government, once there is adequate evidence, instead of going into that legal, this legal, and all that one, because there is no ending. After all, there are always two lawyers. And obviously, the one defending keeps on defending. So the point is that is keeping on in the circles, and again I think it's posted somewhere into February about that extradition proceedings or whatever. So indefinitely is getting postponed, and all those things. So, like that, that's one case where recently I have made some postings and which was in the news. And similarly, recently again coming with that insurance frauds. You see, this is another big issue where they create accidents and then claiming issues and all. Of course, we see more of this type in the US than in other countries or in India. But that's a very big scam going on there with the insured, insurer, brokers, surveyors, and it is a conglomerate of all these people. People claim, and then claims are paid, and then after paying, somebody points out why that claim is paid, and then the investigation goes on, and then they find out that there's a fraud. So that's another big thing. See, more are expected in 2021 due to extended work from home. See, now this has become a boon and a bane working from home because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and so the more and more you depend on because of the pandemic and all this one, there's more scope for all these frauds to occur for various types. Because the fraudsters are also, as I said earlier, working from home at their home comfort, and then finding out what is happening internationally, and then breaching the firewall, breaching the security and things, and then doing that, and then taking advantage of all these social platforms. Everybody is active nowadays. Nowadays, the internet speeds what they promise, they are not giving, are not able to give, or can never give, because there is too much of dependency on the internet. As it is, the past decade or more, the dependence has gone up, and now because of this pandemic, the situation has become worse. Mm. And secondly, once you say you are connected, you are wired, you are on net, no person or corporation can ever promise you 100% safety. You are always at a risk. Whatever you are doing at your own risk. Let the buyer beware concept prevails. Okay. It is not that if not WhatsApp, Telegram, if not Telegram, that one, or don't use Facebook, don't book WhatsApp, and all these things. That's all for daily reading in the newspapers or whatever. But the fact remains that the simple logic is anything on internet is not safe. People should first get that concept into their minds. Then only they'll be careful. Because we keep saying like this, we talk like this, and then give alerts and all that one, but still you see the Facebook or Instagram and all that, you can simply track the person, you can simply track his family, you can simply track who is who, what is he or she, and so even fraudsters are very patient people. They keep following, they see everything, and they gather. Just like a fraud examiner gathers enough evidence to prosecute or to bring to light frauds, the fraudsters are also uh, get enough data and information before targeting the victim. So that public are failing to understand. Okay, and so these like that FBI also recently warns against phishing attacks targeting organizations. So we keep reading about this one, but unfortunately the individuals and the public in general, you always see them nowadays 24 hours on a tab or a mobile phone or a laptop or a desktop or whatever it is, and mindlessly passing on messages and decent personal information and all that one. Okay, and it is more so damaging in the case of this wishing and all that one. Everybody is on internet. There is no personal communication. So the superior, if there is an email purported to be coming from a superior CFO or CEO or somebody, then the account department will simply just obey some instructions of the email and all that one. Okay, without understanding, I mean, without going deep nor you can expect them to go deep. Once they say it is signed by their CO or CFO, first of all, they don't even think twice, it's genuine or not. And transfer money, things like that one. Okay, false emails, and also similarly, even general public get misled by these emails and the SMS and text messages seems to be coming from some legitimate organization, legitimate persons. So FBI is warning that these are going to be much more in 2021. But that also, regarding that, I have made some posting. Then, of course, another person is rise and fall of Mr. Anil Ambani. Okay. So it's again the same thing. I mean, I have put a question. Question is, why do banks keep giving on and on advances when they can see the ship is sinking? First they say they are in need of money in advance. Next they say they want working capital shortages and they give. And next they say they are restructuring and they give. And at the end of the day, those monies, half of them may be diverted, money laundering may take place, or misused, or lost because of poor business acumen. But the bottom line is, then banks will start crying. Then there will be investigations. Then there will be this legal process. And at the end of the day, the person who perpetrated, he is happily riding a horse, while we fraud examiners and other agencies are sitting on donkeys, and then trying to find out where went wrong, when it went wrong, who is responsible, how it happened, and then how can we catch hold of him, and all these things. Whereas those people are riding horses still. So, that's one thing, and it happened unfortunately with Anil Ambani's group of companies and all that one, and I gave a reference to that. And then our Vice President, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu Garu, has aptly said corporates should encourage whistleblowing mechanism. How many corporates are sincerely following this whistleblowing policy? How many corporations are educating their employees? When I mean corporations, it may be government corporations, it may be private corporations, it may be bank, it may be insurance companies, it may be anything, any legal entity. How many of them are educating their employees down below to the senior levels? And how many of them are allowing the employees to express any doubt regarding a peer or a management or thing? These are all the several questions that remain unanswered. So, this is much more effective in developed countries like US, for example, than in other countries in part of our Far East or even our Asian countries and all that one. Here people are loyal. They think of emotions. See, when you are working for somebody or somebody has employed you, it is not a question of emotion. First, it is a question of prudence, business prudence, and all that one. But here, people are first loyal to the thing, they don't want to reveal. Next, they are afraid because they are threatened. Their jobs are threatened, families are threatened. This happens everywhere in a whistleblowing. So, there should be an opportunity for a person to confidentially bring to light of any misdeed by a fellow person or a junior or a senior or even top management. And there should be an independent committee constituted to look into that allegation without revealing the whistleblower by an independent professional. So, I would like to know actually in practice how much of this is happening. So that's what Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, our Vice President, has rightly said. Corporate should encourage whistleblowing mechanism. He said that they should provide adequate safeguards for the protection of the whistleblower. Yes, Speaking about COVID pandemic, he said India fought COVID-19 better than many countries. Okay, everybody is doing their bit. Okay, let us not go into that aspect. Okay, so the first and the most important step for an organization, which I keep on saying, stop fraud, detect fraud, prevent fraud. We are always ending up detecting. We are not doing much about stopping and preventing. And whistleblowing is one of the primary tools through which you can stop or prevent. When I am afraid that a fellow colleague might be observing or might come to know, or somebody may come to know what I am doing and he may blow the whistle, or if he becomes suspicious about me, may blow the whistle, I will be double careful from perpetrating any fraud. So that fear should be there. Then only people, irrespective of their needs or whatever, will avoid or try to prevent, try to keep away from doing a fraud. So that whistleblowing mechanism is still, in my opinion, is primitive. Either it is not there, or it is there in the books, or it is not taken seriously, or a whistleblower is not given the opportunity to speak up, or if he speaks up, there is no action. So that is a primary thing that has to be attended by corporates. And similarly, now this WhatsApp, privacy policies, personal data collection, cybersecurity, and all these things we are seeing nowadays repeatedly about Facebook and this one. But still, even before all these issues come up, ever since internet is born to date, it is not safe. It may be in the form of an app, it may be in the form of a software, it may be something like that. It may be a data passing from to one place. It can be hacked. Okay? And so first of all, where it is not possible for organizations to work without internet, they should secure maximum precautions. There should be regular updates. There should be regular scrutiny, regular follow up the security systems. Data should be saved somewhere, and any slightest suspicion, the IT or the security teams must bring to light without just trying to patch it up. Okay, and so it is when especially these apps, you see half a million apps on this Google Play and all that one. So nobody is taking responsibility for the genuinity or the effectiveness of all that one. Okay, so any of them, in the guise of some facility to the user, they will always ask whenever you want to download an app, they will ask you most of your information, like what's your phone number, what's your email, what is that, what is this, and all these things. So they gather the information, and when you have some information, it is with all the our public, all our information is available public. If I'm talking like this, and if you punch my name, you will get everything, most of things about me and all that one. So it's public. So one should be careful in the usage of any app in the first place, and try not to reveal too much of, or any of your personal information, family information, where you are traveling and all these things. And so it is not that there is encrypted, that is and all that one. Still, there is always an element of risk once you are connected. So that's one thing that we are recently seeing in the news. Then again, we see a Bulgarian ex-wrestler linked to drug money laundering case against the Swiss bank. So it's another thing that the Swiss banks and all, where the high secrecy and all is maintained. So a case of prominent people many a time involved in money laundering and invariably drugs and arms dealings. lot of time to is taking to bring to book the culprits, provided they didn't escape in between, as is in this case of this Bulgarian wrestler. Okay, it takes a time, a decade or two, catch and bring to book the fraudsters. It involves a lot of effort, manpower, and international cooperation in all such cases, as the frauds are spread across the countries many a time. Okay, and so there should be the international cooperation to bring the fraudsters or perpetrators of frauds to book is still not as effective as it should be. Whenever you talk about fraud prevention, it is not at a micro level of a small company and there and all that one. It's at a macro level. These frauds are perpetrated across the world. I mean, there are people sitting at somewhere, they steal somewhere, the money goes somewhere. And if every country and every region talks of their law, their things and all that one without a common platform of understanding, then you can never catch the thief, because everywhere it is a legal hurdle. That's what is happening now. People who are going away, and Modi is there. And it takes this, okay, he may be under arrest and all these things, but actually prosecution has not happened. They are not brought to book. They are not brought to the country. So these things keep on prolonging. That actually public will forget about it. Except once in a while it comes in a paper about something, and then again the news disappears. And ultimately we don't know what happened, how much is recovered, whether it is punished or not, whether amounts are recovered or not. They are all going to oblivion. So there should be a common international platform and understanding for quickly bringing to book the people who do a fraud in one country and simply run away to another country, and possibly in some countries they may give him asylum also. So these things are preventing the big scams from getting resolved in due time, and recovery of money and to bring them to book. So that is one angle, and recently those things are also coming in the thing. So, as I already said, I touched upon it is for every individual using internet and any related gadget to understand the threats from hackers and vulnerabilities and take precautions. To say I don't know, then you don't use internet. If you don't know anything, then don't use internet. So the question of I don't know doesn't apply. First, you know what you're doing. Okay, this is what we should tell the public. First, you understand what you're doing. Don't do something and say I don't know. Then you lose money or whatever. Then don't cry. So that message should go into them. First, you should understand. Only when you understand, you start taking precautions. That is not happening. Okay. Then, despite strong warnings by many security companies and others and fraud examiners and all that one, but still these things are happening now. And also touching about another thing is about bank frauds and COVID-19 frauds. See, COVID-19 has really devastated the whole world and their economies, job losses, and all these things. Unfortunately, many senior people lost jobs because the companies can't afford to pay. And these things are happening, and slowly, now vaccination has started, and with hopefully by during this year or end of this year or within that, things will slowly come back, limp back to the normalcy. But taking advantage of that, and still the online, still people are working from home. Many big organizations are employing like MNCs and all that. They are still they cannot simply ask their employees to come to the offices still, and so all these are still on internet. As long as all that is there and internet and all that one, there is more scope for these frauds and all, because if you are in an organization, at least to some extent the organization is taking precautions against the use the connectivities and all that, internet providers and all that one. But whereas once it comes to working from home, everybody is working, we do not know, with whatever internet connection and all that one, or dongle or whatever, and so the security features are not, will not be as strict, as tough, or as they ought to be as in an organization. So that's one big area where this COVID-19 is causing, giving more scope to the fraudsters to commit frauds more and more. Let it be some false sales, false advertisements, for this one, for this phishing, or whatever it is, text messages or whatever. And so people who get carried away and go by them, they get they lose the money. So that is one thing which recently was again highlighted, that COVID-19 has made the whole of 2020 very bad, and even 2021 also. If you are not careful, it will be equally bad, if not worse, because still people are working from home. So that is another aspect which I have posted in the thing as one of the, I think. Then, of course, the bank frauds, which are very common, as I already explained. They lose money, they gain advance money, they only meet their, they talk about probably only the targets of advances rather than, and writing of NPS rather than what steps to be taken and why we should advance, or why, and all that one. They want to sink with the ship rather than trying to save themselves. That's what is happening with the bank frauds. And so we see something or other, or some update of the previous bank frauds, like PMC. PMC Bank is another big thing where now they say auditors are involved and all that. Of course, it's very unfortunate, but some professionals are also directly involved in many of these frauds, in guiding the perpetrators, how to go about it and all these things. So that's something we also that was posted recently. So, these are all the important aspects that I have been posting in my website and LinkedIn, and I'm quite sure the viewers will take time to go through these things, because it's not possible for a layman or a person who is not into this to get himself updated on these things, which are very important, because nowadays all of us are dependent on the internet and these things. So with these few words, I would like to conclude that this is just what you call a recap of my last 15 20 days 20 days postings on LinkedIn, and which I thought I should just share and explain to the public. First, please be aware of the frauds. Please do not say, I do not know. Okay? And use prudently the apps and all that one. Do not show your personal information. Nowadays, in my city, I see and probably all of India, the public loudspeakers are also announcing, do not disclose your PIN, do not respond to SMS, do not do this, do not do that. But I do not know whether it's falling on the ears or going to the sky, all those messages. The governments are also trying to push it, push the messages. It's happening. But only thing is, public are not heeding these advices. So my also request is for public and people who are seeing this video to keep on telling, keep on spreading the awareness of frauds, because we have to live with them as long as we are living with internet. Okay, and it's a long time before somebody may come up with something that is so secure. Till then, nothing is secure internet. So be safe, take care, and spread the word of fraud awareness. Thank you.